Welcome back to Sci-Fi Stories, the place where bravery, mystery, and impossible odds collide. If stories about humanity standing alone against the darkness excite you, make sure you subscribe and become part of our growing universe. 400 alien warships drifted silently in formation, planet destroyers, every one of them. Enough firepower to erase civilizations without slowing down. Against that overwhelming force, humanity arrived with only 12 ships. The reaction from the alien fleet was immediate and uncontrollable. Laughter echoed across the bridge of the Hermes 7th Fleet. Admiral Zextra, her mandibles clicking with amusement, leaned back in her command throne and gazed at the tactical display. In 40 years of service, she had never witnessed anything so pitiful. 12 vessels. Small. Crude. Barely worth registering on long-range sensors. The largest human ship barely reached 300 meters in length, shorter than the secondary hangar bay of her flagship. Their hulls looked patchwork, as if assembled from salvaged scrap rather than forged military armor. They drifted in open space awkwardly, like lost juveniles who had wandered into a battlefield they did not understand. Communications Officer Vector, Zextra chirred, still amused. Confirm that these vessels represent Earth's response to our claim on the Kepler Mining Consortium. Vector tapped at his console, antennae twitching. Confirmed, Admiral. Human forces consist of 12 ships. Intelligence reports indicate this is likely the full extent of humanity's deep space navy. The bridge erupted in clicking laughter. 400 warships stood ready, each capable of burning a planet clean. Even the smallest destroyer in their fleet outweighed the human's largest vessel by 10 times. Open a channel, Zextra ordered. Let's settle this without scraping debris off our hulls. The human image appeared on the main screen. A tired, middle-aged human with graying hair and steady eyes looked back at her. His voice was calm, almost casual. This is Captain Sarah Chun of the UES Defiant, he said. Admiral, I'm hoping we can discuss the Kepler situation like civilized beings. Zextra's amusement deepened. The human was clearly male yet used a female designation. How unsophisticated were their customs? Captain Chun, she replied smoothly, savoring the moment. I am Admiral Zextra, commander of the Hermes 7th Fleet. Surely you've noticed the numerical imbalance between our forces. Hard to miss, Chun answered dryly. 400 ships is impressive. Though I do wonder, do you really need that many just to mine asteroids? The bridge fell silent. The laughter died instantly. Captain, Zextra snapped. You have 1 hour to withdraw from Hermes space. After that, you will be removed. Chun's reply came without hesitation, and something in his tone caused the bridge to grow unnervingly quiet. Admiral, there's something you need to understand about human naval doctrine, he said. We don't build ships to look intimidating. We build them to function. 8. Without warning, every alarm on the bridge screamed to life. Tactical surge detected, an officer shouted. On the main display, the 12 human ships began to change. Hull plates rotated with mechanical precision, sliding and locking into unfamiliar configurations. Sections that had once appeared smooth and unremarkable split apart, revealing concealed weapon systems. Structures that Zextra had dismissed as communication arrays unfolded into advanced targeting frameworks glowing with unfamiliar energy signatures. The tactical computer struggled to keep up. Data streams flooded the display faster than the officers could process them. Then the analysis completed. The tactical officer's voice dropped to a whisper. Admiral, each human vessel carries enough firepower to annihilate a continental landmass. Their technology is estimated to be at least 50 years more advanced than ours. Zextra stared at the screen, disbelief tightening her chest. That's impossible, she hissed. They're too small. Captain Chun's voice returned, calm and almost friendly. Humans learned early that mass is inefficiency in space, he explained. Every extra gram costs fuel, range, and speed. So we pack maximum power into minimal volume. Between stars, efficiency wins wars. The 12 ships shifted again, moving with flawless coordination. They didn't form traditional battle lines. Instead, they assembled into a three-dimensional combat lattice, an interlocking geometry designed to concentrate fire from every possible angle. Not a display of pride. A design meant to kill. We've been observing your fleet for 3 weeks, Chun continued. We know your shield frequencies, weapon recharge cycles, engagement ranges, and tactical doctrine. Zextra felt a chill crawl through her exoskeleton. Without pause, Chun began listing details from her own career, her early victories, her disciplinary record, her strategic preferences, even minor habits she believed were private. He spoke of her fear of confined spaces. Of the battle she still replayed in her dreams. Information that should have been impossible to obtain. Human intelligence doctrine, Chun said simply. Understand your opponent completely before the first shot is fired. We've studied Hermione warfare for decades. The tactical officer swallowed hard. Admiral, they're correct. Their formation nullifies our numerical advantage. They could destroy the entire fleet. Chun didn't interrupt. He let the truth settle. But that won't be necessary, he added. We're not here to fight. Zextra straightened. Then why come at all? Partnership, Chun replied. Kepler has enough resources for both of us. We supply technology. You handle logistics. Mutual profit. Zero casualties. Zextra looked from her 400 warships to the 12 silent human vessels that could erase them without breaking formation. And if we refuse? She asked. Chun smiled. She could hear it in his voice. Then we send a message to the rest of the galaxy, he said. About what happens when someone threatens human interests. The bridge remained frozen in silence. 400 warships. Tens of thousands of lives. All suddenly balanced against 12 ships that hadn't fired a single shot. Zextra felt something unfamiliar settle into her thoughts, not fear, but clarity. The humans had never intended intimidation. There were no dramatic maneuvers, no grand speeches, no threats until they were forced to speak. They had arrived already victorious. How long do we have to decide? Zextra asked carefully. We're patient, Chun replied. But not endlessly. She turned to her officers. Every tactical display confirmed the same outcome. Their superior numbers meant nothing. Their formations were obsolete. Their shields were predictable. Against human efficiency, brute force was meaningless. Open negotiations, Zextra ordered. 3 hours later, the most favorable trade agreement in Hermione history was signed. Kepler would be jointly developed. Human technology would enhance Hermione infrastructure. Logistics networks would expand. Profits would multiply. And not a single ship would be lost. In her private command log, Admiral Zextra recorded the encounter with uncharacteristic honesty. Humans do not build fleets for intimidation, she wrote. They build them for results. The addendum was sealed and classified at the highest level. It contained a warning for future admirals. When humans claim their fleet is small, they are not admitting weakness. They are declaring efficiency.